You know what they say about running with scissors? It's a bad election strategy. Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, and that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'd like to sit back in my very squeaky chair, relax, and have a conversation with all of you about Riftbound, the newest TCG sensation that is sweeping the nation. Riftbound, the League of Legends trading card game. And oh boy, has this been kind of making the news. It's turning heads. It's getting a lot of attention. And a lot of that attention is really good. And I finally had an opportunity to sit down and learn how to play the game. A buddy of mine got super into it. He built some intro level decks, I guess is how he described it. And he taught me how to play the game. I was really thankful to him for that, because otherwise it would have taken me forever to sit down and learn how to play it myself. I cannot stress this enough. Your uncle is kind of stupid. So for me, I have a really difficult time learning card games. As much as I enjoy them, just reading through rules or watching a tutorial video, that doesn't really help me learn. So having someone there that I can physically bounce the learning off of and help me run through the motions, that does help. What also helped was that Riftbound itself is surprisingly an easy game to get into. The rules were very intuitive, very straightforward. If you are a Magic the Gathering fan, it means you are a Commander fan. And if you're a Commander fan, you intuitively kind of understand a lot of the mechanics going into Riftbound. Not all of them, but a lot of them. There's a few things that are very different, but I'm not going to... This is not a rules breakdown of the game. This is just my first thoughts on the game. Pros and cons that I'm seeing right now, and then my guess for where the game is going to be going. And let's do a pro and con evaluation first. So the first big pro is that, again, the game is really easy to get into. Okay, I cannot stress this enough. I really cannot stress enough how important it is that a game has a very low intellectual barrier to entry, especially in today's day and age, where you are trying to pull potential new players away from all the other card games on the market, because there's a lot of card games out there. And if yours is too complicated and it's difficult for people to even grasp the fundamentals of it, you're going to have a hard time securing that player base for the long term. So Riftbound being easy to get into, that's just a bonus in my opinion. And the fact that it is kind of intuitive, that, again, it's just a nice... It's intuitive, which means that a lot of players will kind of naturally gravitate towards certain mechanics in the game itself, and they'll be able to really understand the rules, even if they've only ever played one or two other games. I like that a lot. The other thing I really like about the card game is just the way that the cards look. There is a con here, but I'll get to that in a minute. The art looks beautiful. The foiling looks absolutely beautiful. The regular foils in the cards are nothing to write home about, obviously, but for the alt arts and specialty cards that they have in the sets, especially the runes, those look divine. I mentioned it during my box opening video for the product, and I'm going to say it again here. The runes, the foil runes for this game, they look freaking beautiful. And I imagine flipping through a binder containing just pages of each of these runes individually, I bet that would be a really lovely experience, just because I think those look gorgeous. Drop dead gorgeous. I'm a huge fan of foils of various card games, especially when they look particularly nice. You guys know that I love Flesh and Blood's cold foils. I'm a huge fan of those. And I think the foiling here looks really nice too. So that's nice. Another thing that I'm enjoying right out the gate is the fact that the game does appear to be designed to be balanced. All of the cards I looked at, critically, do seem to be really solid in terms of their power versus cost, versus the kind of decks they seem to slot into most readily. And yes, I'm aware that there's one hero, I think her name is Kaisa, who does seem to be dominant in the competitive scene right now. She does seem really strong. Again, I have not plugged myself into tournaments. I don't do that for any TCG If I don't do it for Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, or Flesh and Blood, then I'm not going to do it for anything else, right? Um, but at the moment, just looking through Origins as a set and the various champions for it, they do appear to be more or less designed with the intention of being balanced. And that's nice. I do like that quite a lot. None of them are, again, Kaisa being the exception, none of them appear to be intentionally designed to be overpowered or broken. And that's just a good thing right out the gate. You want your game to be somewhat healthy in terms of metagame balance. Yeah, there should be strong cards. That is a natural draw to any metagame, in my opinion. A strong card will elicit a strong deck, which will elicit interesting tournament results, but I'm not going to get into that. In this video, I just wanted to say that, hey, the game looks strong right now, healthy right now, and the company did announce they are doing rotation. I think they at least announced that rotation is in the pipelines. I don't know when they are planning to roll out rotation as a shift to the metagame, but the fact that they have it on the in the pipeline, that's a good thing too. I do, looking at games that have rotation versus games that don't have rotation, I firmly believe that rotation is good for the long-term health of a TCG, just in general. Looking at you, Yu-Gi-Oh! No rotation monster. But with some of the, surface level pros out of the way, let me get some cons out of the way as well. And a big one, and I do mean a big one, this is one that really bothers me. Card quality. The art looks nice, the foil looks nice, and the mechanics all seem nice. But the card quality of, at the very least, what I opened was abysmally poor almost across the board. These cards come right out of the pack, frayed to hell. It looks genuinely bad. I know it didn't come through that well on the recording and the camera, all that jazz. But just sifting through the cards, so many of them, I was worried that I couldn't even list them on TCG Player as anything other than damaged, because these things look really bad coming out of the pack. And that's not a good thing. Okay, you want card quality to be really high, especially for a launch of a new TCG, because this is something that you want to really attract people to. And part of the attraction for a new TCG, like it or not, is the collectible aspect of it. Yes, the playable aspect of it is super important. You want a balanced game, you want a fun game. Make no mistake, that is important. But you also want that collector appeal. You don't want to focus on collector appeal, but you want there to be collector appeal, because in the long term, what's going to move some of these boxes in the aftermarket is going to be collector desirability, and having boxes full to the brim with frayed cards is not going to bring in the collectors you think it will. Or, well, you'd hope it would. I don't think anyone at the company intended for these cards to come out of the boxes looking the way they did. Which is, again, it's unfortunate. Hopefully with the next set, they will have fixed this issue, and the cards will look hunky-dory. But for now, I really wanted to stress that, man, does that not look great. And that's really it for the cons. One big glaring issue, just card quality. That's kind of it. As I said, I had a lot of fun playing the games. I was very intuitive to learn the core mechanics. I'm sure I'm not going to remember them like this was yesterday. So I'm 97% sure that by tomorrow I will have forgotten most of the rules, because, again, I am a stupid person. But at the very least, for what it's worth, actually learning the game was easy. Playing the game felt fun. All the art looks fine. I'm sure, yes, I'm aware that some of it was recycled assets. I know. It still looks fine. And there does appear to be genuine desire from a player perspective to get this game going. There's a lot of, again, speculator nonsense. It's the TCG world we live in right now. But there does appear to be cards selling on TCG Player right now, not just because they're the alt art of the various champions that look super nice. There are cards selling on TCG Player just because they are showing up in tournament-relevant decks, and people want to try to get up to date with the metagame. And that's mega important, I think. Having a card game that sells not just for its collectability, but for its playability, that's great. That's really good. And Riftbound does appear to be selling just for the sake of playing the game, which is nice. And yeah, I know box prices are hyperinflated right now. I hope that will come down. I hope more comes to market and becomes more available. And this time next year, we're all playing with our super affordable decks. So, speaking of, I suppose I should give my long-term prediction for the card game. And is this card game more like Flesh and Blood, where I think it's going to stick around for a long time, or is it more like Star Wars, where I think it's going to die next year? No, this is definitely more of a Flesh and Blood card game. There is genuine enthusiasm for it from a kind of ground-up appeal. Again, the game is easy to get into. It's fun to play. If you're a fan of League of Legends, I haven't even mentioned League of Legends as a IP because I don't know anything about it, but if you're a fan of League of Legends, having a fun game based on it, that's probably a huge bonus too, right? There's probably definitely people who are getting into this TCG just because of the League of Legends name, and then they're finding that there's an actual fun TCG attached to it. So that's good too. I think if the next 3 or 4 sets have as good a showing as this one, and they fix the printing issue, they fix the card quality issue, and they don't do anything crazy, they don't overprint the game into the ground, they don't design some crazy busted mechanic or some crazy busted champion, I think it's going to be around for a very long time. It looks really good right now. I'm very optimistic about it, and I'm going to be doing my best to try and get some more just for A, for myself, and B, to sell on TCG Player, because I'm basically sold out of what I had already. So yeah, that's Riftbound. In terms of TCGs, if I was going to rank it, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I am deducting points for that just abysmal across the board card quality. Like, that's something you really should have hammered out the gate. But other than that, it looks good, it plays fun, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. If you guys have tried it, let me know your thoughts below in the comments section. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Did you guys know I have a Patreon? I have a Patreon. It helps keep the lights on around here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great one. I will see you next time.